Podcast. I'm your host, Derrick Schommer. That's Ian Andrews. We are reviewing Knob Creek Rye. But it's
100 proof, 50% alcohol.
Straight rye whiskey.
Straight rye whiskey.
100 proof?
Yeah.
You like that?
We'll find out. I think it might help clear up my what I got going on.
If not, we can use the 120s.
Let's start with the 100 and work up. I watched this YouTube show called First We Feast Hot Ones. So it's a great show if you haven't seen this. It's this guy, I don't know who he is, but he has celebrities on, and basically there's 10 wings of escalating spice.
Like chicken wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Hot wings.
it starts at like sriracha and then goes all the way up to like a 550,000 Scoville wing. And
That's like 500.
this guy, I can't Huang. Something Huang.
That sounds Huang.
From Viceland. I watched the one today, and he just Eddie Huang. He just started at the top. Usually you work your way up, and he was like out for the count. And it was hilarious.
Out for the count.
So anyway,
He fell down.
let's start with the lower proof because I found
Going up is so.
Starting
The
from
moral
the
of the
top
story
is
is
awful.
you always start from the bottom, work your way up.
yes.
You
Start from the bottom, then you're here.
We haven't. You know what?
Is that too much?
No, we'll literally do that. It's right here.
Okay. So anyway, this is available according to Bevmo for about $37, $36.99 on Bevmo.
Yep.
It's gonna vary state to state,
I would agree. Like our state would be cheaper
as it usually is.
if we could get it. Which we might be able to. I don't even know.
Why don't you start?
Well, okay, I've had a rough
Just
accident.
because
It was all going well until I started losing Clash Royale. Like 9 times in a row.
maybe you should watch more videos about Clash Royale like your wife. See how that bus goes?
See?
Forward and reverse.
I totally took a huge sip forgetting that it was 100 proof.
Like the oakiness. Smell the rye. Which means my cold must be going away if I can smell the rye.
What does rye smell like?
It's musky.
What's musk smell like?
It's kind of like
Dank.
Elephant.
dank. Like elephant? Is that what you said? It smells like a basement.
Well, okay,
It's
so
musty,
there's
not
a better
moldy, but like kind of like humid and oaky and woody.
humidor.
Yeah.
Woody. I could probably smell musk from a musk melon, from rye, from mold, and from a dank cellar before I'm ever gonna smell an elephant.
I know. Where's
There's not
that
enough
come from?
elephant around here.
There's not. I mean, your neighbor's got one. But I know.
Yeah, I know. It's like I don't want to walk all the way over there.
Don't be talking to people's wives.
Oh yeah.
There was one at Benson's for the longest time.
You know, Benson's has been closed since 1978, so
There were still elephants when it was closed.
So
this is true.
even at 100%, it's got a lot of kick.
I don't get a lot of burn. I did for
Not
a
a
second.
lot of burn, but it's kind of smooth also.
I know.
There's like a real smoothness and almost like a.
It's dry.
It's thicker mouthfeel than I would think it is
Mhm.
for 100 proof, 50% alcohol
Yeah.
spirit.
Yeah. You think
It doesn't taste like there's
Burny,
a thickening
like-
agent in there or anything, but it
No.
tastes thicker than I would
it
expect.
tastes heavy. It's got a heavy mouthfeel. There's a good presence of oak where I think some ryes, especially Canadians and stuff, they don't have that oak. This is like, I would confuse this for bourbon. Like, it's got a little bit more of
Would
a
you?
dankiness, but
I would get the
Yeah.
rye out of this, definitely.
is this a bourbon?
That is bourbon.
All right, so maybe, so I don't necessarily, I don't know. Rye is confusing to me because it's tasty, and
It is.
I don't,
But you can't differentiate from bourbon that well?
maybe I can. This is buttery air smell.
Mm.
Right.
Big difference now, right? Have we ever done that?
No.
Compared like a rye to a bourbon?
Oh!
It's different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is stronger, so. Hence the faces.
Much different, actually, but
The nose is
What-
sweeter. It's not as musty, right?
right, but see, my challenge is, folks in TV land, YouTube land,
Still got a
how do you describe that without using the word musty?
rye.
you
Tastes and
can't,
smells like
you
rye.
can't describe it as what it is.
It's like a.
How many people have smelled rye and must?
It tastes more like a. It smells more vegetal, I think. More earthy.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Earthy.
Got a little soil action.
For those of you who've tasted rye and stuff, does,
No,
does earthy make a good description
Okay, so
for
if
that,
you
the
took-
mustiness?
If you took some plant earth, like not just don't go outside and grab earth, but like actually not fertilizer, but like
Right, but
earth
like
from earth matter from a
good
plant.
soil, yeah.
Soil, good soil, black soil. Shake it around and just smell.
It's kind of musty, right?
You're gonna get that out of this more than out of this. This is
Yeah.
more like if you took a barrel, like a oak barrel,
Yeah.
and you smelled it, you get that sweeter oak
Totally.
vanilla
Yeah.
flavor. You could get it out of a red wine in some cases, especially the cheaper ones. You can get it out of even Jack Daniels. You're going to get that flavor.
It may or may not be easier to get these flavors out of a lower proof alcohol. I mean, we're tasting.
No, I don't think it is.
50% and 60%. So the alcohol can
they
get in the way sometimes.
But they also alcohol sucks the flavor. So
does.
it's almost like a balance. It doesn't do
Does
it
the
to your
alcohol
face.
get
Kill your
in
face.
the way of you tasting?
I don't think so.
Not so much with this one, I think. More so with that. I'd rather taste a 40% or a slightly overproof bourbon. Oh, look.
So, that's a straight bourbon whiskey,
Yeah.
and it's only 100 proof.
Oh, same proofage as this. Super.
Does that have caramel to it?
That's sweet and caramel, where this is...
This just turned into a Knob Creek flight. I like it.
earthy and oaky.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the sweet finish in the rye.
No.
Which is, I believe,
so that's the
why
biggest note. It's not sweet.
a Manhattan calls for rye, because you have that sweet vermouth to carve it out.
Okay.
Right?
I can buy
So you
that.
get that mustiness in the Manhattan.
And this might make it too sweet.
It might, but
Sweet in a different way than like
Sweet in a different
80s
way.
cocktail.
but I'm not saying I'm not a fan of the Maker's Manhattan.
No, it's just a
It's
different.
still good. It's
just
just
a different
different,
flavor. I mean, if you have rye Manhattans all the time, switching it up can never hurt.
And rye was a pretty popular spirit back in the day. So.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It has a different flavor, which maybe I can pick out now only because I've done this, and I've had ryes, I've had bourbons, and you can tell there's a difference, but you don't know exactly what that is. It is definitely this has the sweeter vanilla flavor. This has the earthy tones to it, where musty fits into the tone of earthy, vegetal, not grassy, not green,
Not grassy, not herbal.
Right.
But like earthy,
earthy.
rooty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like more,
Yeah, like a
more
root
like the
sauce.
soil.
So-
This has more like a barrel,
Yeah.
but this still has that barrely
Obviously, it's aged, right? So
flavor to it, which is cool because I like ryes and I like bourbons, and to me that's kind of like it meets in the middle. Not as sweet, but it brings some of the flavors of the oak. Hi, I'm coming over here for a minute, right? As opposed to
I don't know what to say.
being completely black and white difference.
I like this rye.
I like that rye,
Yeah.
and I like this better than this.
I've had some ryes that I don't like. I can't remember off the top of my head because I kind of banish those memories.
Yeah, sure. And until you hit it again, you're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
I
what
remember
like.
this. I don't like it.
I like this better than this, and I think this has a little bit more of a candy flavor to it.
It does.
With
It's
this one,
It's funny that we're tasting
That one's
100
so
proof and 120 proof things, and we're talking about how sweet they are.
right? And that's what I mean. It's like not 80s. They are sweet, perceptionally sweet.
Well, we haven't
Yeah,
had
sure.
an 80 proof to balance our palates out yet, so we're starting in heavy. This is our first drink of the night. So.
First drink of the night, we're doing 100 proof and 120 proof.
Yes.
That's how we roll here at the CMC show. Like, share, and what else? Subscribe.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe.
All right.
Oh, look, it says that on the board.
That's and then the circles with the free ebook thing.
Right.
So
Well, I think it probably wouldn't hurt to have like a rye comparison at some point. Because
or blind. Oh, like just a rye
yeah,
on
where
rye.
we can talk about
rye
like
on
the
rye action.
rye and rye action, where we can talk about the differences. Because I mean, when we talk about rye being musty and earthy, we're characterizing rye, not necessarily the Knob Creek rye. Because
Right.
all ryes have these characteristics in there
Right.
because that's what a
So-
rye is. So it might be interesting
So
to see
going
how
through a line of ryes.
a bunch of ryes compare. Yeah. So it's,
What about ryes against? Like, you think? What if you threw in some bourbons to see if we can find, or would it be a different video? But like,
yeah.
can you find which ones
I
the
think that's
bourbons?
what
Which ones? Are the
I think what
rye
we did here is we compared a rye to a couple bourbons
Yeah.
of similar and higher proof
Of the
And-
same company.
and we can see
There's a difference.
and tell you about the difference in there. But this is and the great thing is these are all Knob Creek products, so we
Right.
know that there's a little bit of consistency in the
Exactly.
sample, right? But if we compared like one rye to another rye to another rye to another rye to another rye,
I have to figure out how many ryes I got.
yeah, we can start
Well,
talking about
4.
like what differentiates these ryes
Yeah.
maybe,
And we'll learn something in the process.
we'll learn something. We can
I like-
communicate that to you guys.
learning.
We can tell you what the differentiations are, and maybe you like something that's more musty, less musty, sweeter, not so sweet. If we can characterize that
Okay.
stuff, that might be useful
We're gonna need to learn how to characterize.
Yeah.
But that's a different video.
for a different day.
Because this was done. We'll teach you how to drink. It's gonna go bad and you're gonna hate this tequila? No. But what that tells me and you if at home, if you have an older bottle of tequila and you have a newer bottle of tequila and you're trying to figure out which one's better and that one's 2.5 years old.